Hi, this is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle, and this is another one of those versions of why did I buy these reels? And maybe you can play along and figure it out. I'll tell you in the end why I bought them, but let's look at the reels first. Know up front that the price paid was around $40 and it was purchased on eBay. It was one of these fishing reel lots that show up every now and then. And I very rarely buy on eBay for a couple of reasons. One, the value of the reels is kind of mitigated to some extent by the cost to ship them. In other words, you can find a nice reel for what would be a reasonable retail price, and then you got to pay the $10 or $15 shipping, and by the time it's done there, well, it's not much of a value anymore. But at any rate, I bought a lot, a fishing reel lot. It was advertised on eBay, and as I mentioned, it was somewhere in the $40 range for them. And we'll go over what I got, and then we'll see if you can figure out why I bought them. And we'll rule out right away that I bought them to make reel repair videos for you to watch and see. That's a given. And a lot of times I will go and shop and just do that. Buy a reel just because, well, I don't have one in my video library. It's always a good thing to take apart, to share with you how the reels are made, how you service them, and how you give them a second chance. And a lot of times, well, that's the value itself, right? And then I can find a place to either give them away, or I work with a flea market vendor and some other folks that are always looking for moderately priced reels to sell. And sometimes we'll trade services or something along that line. So before I get started, if you want to see these types of videos, please subscribe to my channel. And if you do subscribe to my channel, please hit the notification button. That notification button will tell you when I'm posting these reels. And well, you'll get to play along with me and see how we did. All right, well, the first one up here is a Daiwa reel. This is the Daiwa Ag 2600. I'm told all of these work. It works. It's a little slow, but that's the 2600. I imagine it needs a good cleaning and greasing, but other than that, everything is apparently in place and doing what it should do. It'll make a nice video and make a nice fishing reel as well. The only thing that's missing on this one is that little button that says Daiwa up top here. Kind of hides the threads of the screw. No big deal. It doesn't have an effect on the actual performance of it. As I mentioned, it's a lot of 5 reels. Let's go grab the lot number 2 here. I like this one a lot. And this one, you know, if you can add them, you're saying I'm averaging about $10 a reel. And again, they're all supposed to work well. And we'll see. This is a Pflueger. It's the Pflueger Criterion. Many of you know that Pflueger was part of Shakespeare for a while, and then all of the brands became part of Pure Fishing. Well, the Pflueger is one step up in the current good, better, best approach from Pure Fishing. So you would have Shakespeare, it would be the lower level, and then it would be Pflueger, and then it would be Penn. So the Pflueger reels here, this is the Pflueger Contender. If you're a fan of the rear drag reels, and if you're a fan of Easy Cast, which is when you go to flip the reel, you don't have to touch the line to cast it. Rather, you just line it up, throw it, and release. Well, if you're a fan of that type of a reel, it's a very nice reel. It's got a little bit of wear and tear on the spools, but again, why did I buy these? Probably to show you how they're made, how they work, and give you a little bit of history behind the reels. All right, well, reel number 3 then. It's good if it works. We'll see. It's a Silver Series Daiwa. It's the Daiwa Rs 2000. And to those of you that have been watching for a long time, most of you know that the biggest issue with this reel, the whole RS series, is the rubber claw foot for the anti-reverse. If that one's gone, the reel is gone. There's not much you can do. For a while there, folks were selling a little bit of a manual spring-driven upgrade that would enable you to work around the fact that you can't get the AR dogs. But you know what? This one's holding. So there you go. Give me a nice little reel. The RS 2000. I'm not sure if I have that in my library. If I don't, well, it'll be one for me to go grab. Well, this is a big one as well. This is fun. Another Silver Series reel. The Silver Series reels were the 70s and early 1980s in Japan. This is a big one. This is the Ryobi Sx5. And yep, it's the same company that makes the Ryobi power tools. I don't believe they make the fishing reels any longer. I'd have to check, but they were in an agreement with Berkley somewhere around the late 1990s, where they sold the U.S. distribution to Berkley, and the reels were going to be marketed under Berkley going forward. So makes sense that this one has got the Ryobi tag on it. This is the Silver Cloud. It's the SX5, and well, so there was a good one. All right, so every now and then I get this. Someone says, my bail is hitting every 5 or 6 cranks. You'll hear it here. Right there. What's going on? What's wrong with the reel? The thing that's wrong with the reel is that the bail wire is bent down, and this is a very easy fix. The answer to this one is to rebend the bail wire up. This bail wire should be coming out square, just like that, where the scissor is, and not down like it is here. So this probably hit a gun wall, a pier rail, something that pushed it down, and that's why you got the banging on it. Nothing wrong with the reel. This is a wire. You can simply rebend. You have to be careful when you rebend. You're going to grab this with the pliers, and you're going to gently move this one up, but you can rebend this, and you can correct that thing being banged around. Well, that's 4. Here's the 5th one now. So this one is the Daiwa Tournament 1300 SS, or sometimes called the Whisker SS 1300. This one's a smooth one. We're going to do a video on this one. Like this one a lot. It's got a unique feature here. This is what I call the bang bail, in that there's no springs that are going to trip this. Rather, this little rubber roller here is going to trip that. And as it comes in, instead of being one of these stationary posts that you'll find on some of these reels that have that feature, this one's actually going to roll along with you. So it's going to pick it up here. That roller is going to move so that you don't constantly scar this or break the bail arm. So have you figured out why I have purchased this for around $40 yet? Not only do I have 5 subjects of videos that I'm going to do, but the answer is arbitrage. I will make my money back flipping this reel. Well, of course, we're going to do the video and show everybody about it. This reel by itself will sell for north of $70, sometimes almost as much as $100 when it's cleaned and working. This one appears to be working just fine. It's a highly collectible reel. It was made in Japan. Actually, this one was made in Thailand by Daiwa. And this is what's called the square drive. And it's got a worm gear drive inside of it. It's always fun to show these in terms of how they're serviced. It's even more fun to fish these. And if you have the opportunity to pick one of these up, go right ahead and do it. So that's the answer. That's the method to my madness in terms of why I purchased this reel lot. Again, I think we average probably $10 a reel. And I got, basically I will sell this one for a profit and have 4 reels free, in addition to having 5 subjects to my videos. So if you've guessed that, congratulations. If you haven't guessed it, that's okay. But it's always something when you go to flea markets and you're on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or any of those, always think of the end game, the price paid, and what the value represents in there. And of course, mine's a little unique because a lot of times the value is simply that I have subject matter to do the videos on. So stick around, subscribe, hit the notification button. You'll see these reels as how to service and repair reels. And I hope you've got a couple of little tips there about how to purchase a job lot, how to think about going at it, and, well, maybe even how to profit from it. So I hope you've enjoyed. To all of our first responders and essential personnel, thank you for everything it is that you do. To everyone, please stay safe, stay well, and stay watching. This is Dennis with Second Chance Tackle. Have a great day.